From the heart of the city, straight to your radio. Honest, intimate, real. This is where love gets real and real gets deep. It's not just talk, it's the Love Talk Show. Are you ready? Then let's dive in right now.
Can having standards become a form of self-sabotage in relationships? Why or why not?
I think personally I would wait for the best, in my own opinion anyway, I think rushing into relationships, it's best to always take your time with those things. I think personally, coming from like quite a religious background as well, the way I was raised as well, I think I was raised to have the best quality for myself anyway. From what I've experienced, rushing things doesn't ever get you anywhere fine, but it's tough to not do that because the initial, how it is at the beginning is very exciting, I think, and you get lost in that, and then I feel like it burns out whenever you rush it, and I've learned that it is just good to just try and slow down. I think I'll only go into something when I'm sure deep down that it could go somewhere. If I can see with the person that, there could be something that happens, then I'll put in a lot of effort into it.
This is the Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.
Hello everyone, the Love Talk Show once again back, and today talking about hyper standards, the no one is good enough filter. Do you know people who have their standards so high that it's so difficult to get there? So we are going to talk about this. If you have in your family or in your group of friends someone who struggles with this, please let them know about the Love Talk Show, because we are going to give tips and we are going to open the door for people to know where to go through in order to make their own lives a little bit easier. Andrea, you are here with us, and today another topic that I believe will help those who are listening to us.
Hello everyone. Today and every single day, a new topic under the light of intelligent love. Another very interesting one, the no one is good enough filter, hyper standards. So it's not higher standards, it's hyper standards. But we are going to also uncover what's behind this filter, the no one is good enough filter.
Pay attention to this video.
Have you ever met someone who wants a relationship but rejects everyone they date? They're too clingy, they're too distant, they're too emotional, they're too dry. And everyone they meet just seems like they're not enough. At first it seems like they have high standards, but after a while you realise that these standards are not protecting them, but rather they're isolating them. Because real relationships are awkward sometimes. People say the wrong thing, they may text weird, and they have their bad days. So if nobody seems to be good enough for you, then ask yourself, are you living by hyper standards? So on tonight's episode of the Love Talk Show, we'll be unraveling the topic of hyper standards, where you'll really learn how to level up.
This is the Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.
Well, and when you have the bar that high, and we defend here so many times that we should have standards, we should put the bar high. We are so many times here saying that a person should not accept everything in anyhow. No, they need to know what they want, they need to know what their goal is, they need to know where they are going to, they need to be, to have in their minds what they really want to achieve in their lives, in order for them to be happy. Because usually when you are setting a plan, when you are drawing your own future and you see what is going on, you know what you want. And we teach people in having their own standards and not giving up on them, especially when we are talking about character. But on the other hand, we have people who sometimes they raise the bar so high that they themselves are not able to reach it. They put the bar so high that there's no way for them to reach, and they are not allowing anyone to go and reach that bar or go over that bar. And why is this happening? Because a person sometimes is protecting himself or protecting herself. They want something so perfect. It has to be so perfect, so perfect, so perfect that this person has to go over it. And because if this happens, if I find this man, if I find this woman who goes over this bar, so I will not suffer, I will not be disappointed, I will not get hurt, I will not have problems. But that's not life, because you, myself, Andrea, no one can be sometimes that high.
And sometimes what happens is the person used to go through so many problems, and the way that the person maybe was brought up, they went through so many things, and they have seen so many bad examples, they went through so much suffering, that today they think like this: I won't go through the same thing as my mother, my father went through, so now my bar is really high, and I don't care if I'm alone, if I'm by myself, if I will remain single, because what I don't want is to suffer. So it's a self-protection, and the person starts to build up walls and defenses, and no one is able to pass through, because every little thing, every small, not defect, but every small flaw can become something to trigger a bigger problem, and something for the person to say, you're not for me. And then one after the other start happening, like failed relationships. And even I was even thinking, if you approach someone, if you try to engage in a relationship with someone, those higher standards, no one can go through that, no one can stand that. So eventually it's also something that will put people away, will set people like this boundary, the person will set a boundary so big and so high that no one is able, and people don't even want to cross it or to get closer to that person.
Even the small flaws or the small things that are happening, because no one is perfect, this can be a big deal and can be a big problem. And the person starts building, as you were saying, walls to protect themselves. He cannot be like this, she cannot be like that, and they cannot go here and they cannot go there. Again, I say it, when we are talking about character and what really matters, what really is important, obviously your standards, they need to remain. They need to remain. There's no chance that you will, what we believe, you cannot restart a relationship with a person that is having a relationship with you, but is sleeping around and having other women or other men. If you want to, there are people who accept it, and if they are good with that, no problem whatsoever. But if you want to have a good relationship and a marriage that will endure, a relationship that you will be for each other, you know that that man, that woman has to have a good character. It's your man, it's your woman, it's the person that is going to be with you. On the other hand, you cannot go to the point of saying he has to be that tall, 1 meter and 95 centimeters. He has to be rich, and he has to earn at least, or she has to earn at least this amount of pounds per week. They have to live in this area of the city. They have to be this way, and you start piling up so many things that you are ruining your own future and compromising your own happiness. And no one is able to reach there. And when you look to yourself, it's a kind of, Andrea, a person end up even being a little bit like a hypocrite. I'm sorry when I'm saying this, because they are demanding from others. They are, demanding that someone in their lives has to be like this when they are not. When they are not able to reach it, they are not able to go over it. So look at yourself, look at your life, see if these hyper standards are not compromising something or a good relationship that sometimes you have at hands, and because of small things that were not important, that maybe they were fixable, you end up putting an end to a relationship or compromising a relationship that could be a good one for you. Well, pay attention to what is happening in the love therapy. We are coming. Well, before we are going to listen.
To Quinton?
Quinton
To be
is coming
fair,
first.
lowering standards has destroyed many people's lives. Ignoring red flags and calling it potential is how people end up crying at 2 a.m.
Oh, one after the other, these promises today.
After Quinton.
And more.
Oh, here we go. Quinton wants everybody to date like they're hiring for a corporate position. Not every flaw is a red flag. Some people are just human, Quinton.
Yeah. So let's find the balance here, the emotional balance. Obviously that we need to be attentive to the red flags, and obviously that we need to understand that our limitations, as all of us we have, and we cannot allow them to impede us to achieve. They cannot. No, we should not allow them to block our way in a way that we are not going to succeed in our love life.
How did you find tonight's love therapy seminar?
I found it a real blessing for a specific situation I'm in currently, because we were talking about adapting and taking actual action to make sure that we're adapting properly. And it's something that I know it's not my love life, but with my family, with adapting to how circumstances change in the family and what's required of me as well, and how I'm meant to adapt and change my time and actually put effort into doing that so that we can have like a peaceful household.
Would you say that adapting is something that people struggle with?
Yeah, especially if it's hard for you to handle change. So because with changes, you need to take action. It's not your comfort zone. So adapting to things or changing can be really hard for a person. It requires actual effort. It's not natural. So I would say it requires more effort.
Would you say the love therapy, attending the seminars, is helping you with that?
I'd say so, because it brings it to the forefront of your mind. With every message, it teaches you something, or it reminds you of something that you know that you need to be doing, or you see that you have to change. So with that constant reminder, you're able to make sure that you're getting on top of things and changing.
Would you recommend the love therapy to people based on your experience?
I would definitely recommend the love therapy to other people in whatever situation they're in regarding their love life, because wherever the word that is being passed is, it's going to bless you in the situation that you're in, because it's from the word of God. So whether you're married or you're single or you're dating, no matter what, I know that it's going to teach you how to handle things both now, presently where you are, but also in the future when your situation changes.
Want to experience the love therapy for yourself? Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. at 232 Seven Sisters Road, Finsbury Park. You'll be inspired.
And listen, if you are listening to us and you see that there are things that are compromising your love life, or you have in your family, in your group of friends, someone who is going through this, you know that usually this is happening because of fear. The person is so afraid to suffer. The person is so afraid to be disappointed, or to be, to hear someone coming and saying, I don't want to be with you anymore, this relationship is finished, that they start putting, they raising that bar so high because they don't want to go through this emotion maybe again. They don't want to see this happening as it happened with mom, dad, with a family member they loved a lot. And they were witnessing how hurt they were and how this has harmed them. And, I would like to talk to you who maybe you are looking at yourself and you really want to succeed in your love life. You really want to be happy, and you know that what you have within you can be a plus in someone's life. You know that what you have within you can help someone. You can next to the right person, you can make this person happy. But for some reason, you can fit in this in this category that we were talking here, and you see yourself endangering your potential relationships. You see yourself with this dissatisfaction that sometimes you are transmitting to your partner, because things are never good enough. Things are never they are never as you want. And again, the small flaws and the small things that are happening are triggering in you a kind of anger, a bad response, a bad reaction, and you are already stepping out of this relationship, or you are being intolerant to anything that is going on. And sometimes when you put your head on your pillowcase and you think about it, you realize that this was manageable, was fixable. A little bit of patience, a little bit of work, a little bit of effort, and you could fix it. Or together you could fix it. But then you look at yourself and you see this fear overcoming you. You feel emotionally exhausted because you want to love, but you are afraid of loving, and you don't allow anyone to love you under their conditions or with their limitations. And the truth is, you will never find someone who is perfect. And no matter how much or how well you do your homework, when you start a relationship, is always an action of courage, is always a step of faith. It's because you believe this is going to work. You believe this is the right person. And sometimes a person is not, aware when they are prepared, exactly because they are being overwhelmed by these fears and by these traumas. And that's why we would like to invite you to be part of the love therapy. Andrea, the love therapy has helped so many couples, so many individuals, singles or married, exactly in finding boundaries or establishing boundaries, controlling their emotions, and having the understanding how to develop the intelligent love.
And that's very important, finding the balance, because we can't be too picky. Otherwise, of course, we can't also reach other person or other people's standards, but also we cannot ignore red flags. And that's what we learn every single week at 8 p.m. 232 Seven Sisters Road, Finsbury Park, London, N4 3NX. Our love therapy takes place here every week. But if you want to get in touch with us through our helpline 24/7, you can just give us a call 020-7686-6000.
So it is in your hands. You have the power to see things in a different perspective and give yourself the chance or the opportunity to reach a better life.
Here are 10 reasons to take part in the love therapy. 10. To heal the wounds from past relationships. 9. To learn intelligent love. 8. To prepare yourself before dating. 7. To become a better husband or wife. 6. To restore a marriage in crisis. 5. To learn to value yourself. 4. To win back a lost love. 3. To debunk the myths about relationships. 2. To learn how to choose someone compatible. 1. To bulletproof your relationship. The Love Therapy, available in London only at the Cathedral of Miracles, 232 Seven Sisters Road, Finsbury Park, London N4 3NX. The seminars are broadcast live to our branches outside of London. For the addresses of these locations, visit uckg.org/addresses. For more information and to keep up to date with any special events, visit and follow our Instagram page at Love Therapy UK.
This is the Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio. Real stories, real dilemmas, real solutions. Only on the Dear Love Talk Show.
And we have a segment here that is called Dear Love Talk Show. And the question for today is the following. I've lost interest in someone I once cared deeply about. How do I know whether this is a phase or a sign to move on? So today we are talking about higher standards or hyper standards. You have to see, you have to acknowledge if you are not raising up the bar so high that you can't fit this someone in your life anymore. Or if it's just something that, no, I lost the interest, or you've seen something that triggered a bad feeling, or like this person might not be for me after all, and you just need to move on. But make sure that, for example, we were talking about perfection and perfectionism, and I was even commenting about this topic this week with someone. Sometimes you are so, or you call yourself so perfectionist that people start looking to your flaws also. So they start seeking for your flaws because people are never good enough for you. So you have to see if you don't fit in this category, like my husband was mentioning, or if it's really something or someone better that you are not interested anymore. Of course, you have to see if there's nothing within you that is blocking someone to pass through you, like we were talking about the defenses. Because if that's the case, you will not be interested in this someone, but you won't give room for someone else to come and gets in. And of course, that won't bless your love life. It will not be something that is good for you in the future also.
Well, if you have your question, you can send it to love@uckg.org. And reminding you that the love therapy happens on Thursdays, although we have the help center open every single day and all day long, and at any time you can pop in and talk to one of us and receive the emotional help that I believe you are looking for, because this is what I've been witnessing here. So whenever you want, you can come. You don't need to pay anything. And tomorrow the Love Talk Show is coming back at 10 p.m. as every single day with another topic. Don't forget what we are talking today, the hyper standards. Make it easier, make it balanced. Keep the good standards, the characterized standards, but learn how to take the step of faith and courage and achieve the happiness that you are looking for. May God bless you all. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
That's a wrap on today's Love Talk Show, where every conversation brings you closer to intelligent love. We'll be back soon with more love, more truth, and more talk. Until next time, keep practicing intelligent love.